Have you ever wondered why so many vibrant seniors suddenly decline before reaching 82, despite seeming healthy just years earlier? It's not what you'd expect. Not heart disease, cancer, or accidents. It's something far more hidden, yet devastatingly overlooked. I'm Dr. James, with over 3 decades specializing in senior wellness, helping older adults not just extend life, but truly thrive through their golden years. Through countless patient interactions and extensive research, I've uncovered patterns most physicians simply miss. Would you believe that one of the strongest predictors of longevity after 60 isn't found in your medical charts, your blood work, or even your fitness level? Rather, it lies in something most seniors never discuss, and many have regrettably abandoned due to discomfort, uncertainty, or misunderstanding. Today, I'll reveal this hidden cornerstone to remaining energetic, independent, and mentally sharp, well into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. Here's the remarkable part. You won't need expensive prescriptions, exhausting workout routines, or complicated diets. This powerful tool already exists within you, simply waiting to be reawakened. Stay tuned, because in the next few minutes, I'll guide you through straightforward yet revolutionary steps you can implement immediately to restore your vitality. And I promise, what comes at the end might forever transform how you view the aging process. Before we continue, if you haven't already, please subscribe and tap the bell icon so you'll receive all our essential guidance designed to help you stay strong, energetic, and self-reliant. If this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If you see room for improvement, type 0. Your input helps us serve you even better. Now that you grasp how crucial this overlooked aspect of your health truly is, let's explore one of the most silent yet devastating threats facing seniors today. A quiet epidemic that drains vitality, weakens the body, and shortens life far too soon. The profound loss of connection to physical pleasure. 1. The silent epidemic among seniors: disconnection from physical pleasure. When meeting patients in their 70s and 80s, I often notice a subtle melancholy in their eyes, a resignation that somehow life has narrowed, become less vibrant, more isolated. Through years of observation, I've recognized one of the most unaddressed yet devastating changes that occurs with age. A gradual disconnection from one's own body, from the physical pleasure that once made them feel so intensely alive. This isn't something many older adults openly discuss, yet it's happening everywhere, silently robbing men and women of their vitality, often without their awareness. You see, somewhere along the way, our society whispered a dangerous falsehood: that intimacy, touch, and sexual expression belong exclusively to youth. That once we cross an invisible age threshold, we must quietly abandon that essential part of our humanity. Countless seniors internalize this message, believing that seeking or enjoying physical pleasure becomes somehow inappropriate, embarrassing, or simply impossible. Some withdraw due to physical changes, others because of emotional wounds, and many because they simply don't realize it's not only possible but fundamental for lasting wellness. What most never understand is that this disconnection triggers a cascading decline. Without regular stimulation, circulation diminishes to vital organs. Neural pathways tied to pleasure begin to deteriorate. Hormonal balance shifts unfavorably. Gradually, the body loses resilience, not just sexually, but mentally, emotionally, and physically. Sleep quality worsens, mood darkens, energy fades. Eventually, even immune function weakens, quietly increasing vulnerability to chronic conditions like heart disease, dementia, and depression. I've witnessed this transformation countless times. Once vibrant individuals who progressively lose their spark, not because their organs failed or their bones weakened, but because the very life force sustaining them was neglected. It's no exaggeration to say that physical pleasure, intimacy with oneself or another, forms a cornerstone of human vitality. Abandoning it through fear, shame, or misinformation doesn't merely diminish joy. It literally steals years. Yet there remains hope. Reconnecting with your body, reawakening those long dormant sensations, can initiate healing far deeper than most imagine. It's truly never too late to rediscover what your body can still offer. In fact, this reconnection might unlock better health, sharper thinking, and deeper emotional resilience than you thought possible at this stage. But what exactly makes physical pleasure so uniquely powerful in protecting your brain, heart, and future independence? Stay with me, because what comes next may transform everything you thought you knew about healthy aging. If these insights are striking a chord, I'd love for you to type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're following along. Now let's explore the powerful truth behind point number 2. 2. Why masturbation after 60 is critical for longevity. Through years of clinical observation, I've witnessed remarkable transformations in patients who maintained bodily connection as they aged. One truth became undeniably clear. Maintaining physical pleasure, including solo sexual expression, isn't simply optional. It's a fundamental pillar of lasting health and longevity. This may challenge your thinking, especially if raised in environments where such topics were treated with discomfort or shame. But biological reality speaks volumes beyond social convention, telling a dramatically different story. After 60, the body naturally experiences declining circulation, hormonal production, muscle tone, and neurological function. However, regular self-pleasure effectively counteracts many of these changes. When older adults engage in sexual expression, even without partners, their bodies respond remarkably. Circulation surges through the brain, heart, and extremities, nourishing tissues that might otherwise deteriorate. Natural endorphins flood the bloodstream, lowering stress and supporting restorative sleep. Testosterone gently rises, helping preserve muscle strength, bone density, and emotional stability, all crucial elements of vibrant aging. Perhaps most fascinating is the impact on cognitive health. Recent neuroscience reveals that sexual pleasure simultaneously activates multiple brain regions, maintaining neural pathways essential for memory, emotional regulation, and executive function. Put simply, it keeps your brain younger, more adaptable, and more vibrant. I've consistently observed that patients embracing this practice demonstrate noticeably sharper thinking, greater creativity, and significantly brighter outlooks compared to those who resign themselves to physical withdrawal. Beyond these biological benefits lies something even more profound. Self-pleasure after 60 represents an act of self-recognition, affirming that your body remains worthy of attention, tenderness, and enjoyment. It powerfully challenges the damaging myth that aging equals diminishment. Instead, it reminds you that life can still be experienced deeply, richly, and authentically. This renewed self-connection often sparks broader positive changes. Improved nutrition choices, renewed social engagement, even stronger motivation for physical activity. When patients ask whether it's too late to revitalize this aspect of their lives, I respond gently but firmly, it is absolutely never too late. Your body may need more patience, more understanding, and gentler approaches, but it remains remarkably capable of deeply nourishing sensations that rejuvenate your spirit and extend your health span beyond expectations. You might wonder, if these benefits are so profound, why do countless seniors struggle maintaining this vital connection? The answer lies in several hidden, heartbreaking misconceptions, precisely what we'll uncover next. 3. Common misconceptions that steal seniors' vitality. Throughout decades of practice, I've observed how easily vibrant, capable adults fall prey to subtle misconceptions that gradually diminish their vitality. Often, this erosion happens so gradually they barely notice, until one day they realize they've become a mere shadow of their former selves. These beliefs aren't harmless misunderstandings. They're invisible forces convincing seniors to surrender one of their most powerful sources of wellness and fulfillment. Perhaps the most devastating misconception is the belief that beyond a certain age, physical pleasure simply becomes irrelevant. I've heard countless seniors say, "I'm past all that now," with resigned smiles masking quiet sadness. The truth? Age doesn't eliminate your body's capacity or need for intimacy and touch. It simply transforms how that need manifests. Surrendering this essential aspect of yourself because you believe it no longer matters is like living in a beautiful home, but keeping all the windows shuttered. You'll survive, certainly, but miss the warmth, light, and connection that make life truly worth living. Another harmful belief is that seeking pleasure independently carries some element of shame. Many grew up when self-pleasure was discussed with embarrassment or condemned as morally questionable. Those deeply rooted messages can persist decades later, creating layers of undeserved guilt. Let me state this with absolute clarity and compassion. Caring for your own body is not shameful. It represents an essential act of honoring your health, your humanity, and your inherent right to well-being. Then there's the misguided notion that conserving sexual energy somehow preserves vitality. In reality, the opposite proves true. Regular sexual activity, including solo expression, energizes bodily systems, supporting hormone production, maintaining healthy circulation, and preserving tissue integrity. Like any biological function, what goes unused eventually weakens. The systems responsible for pleasure require regular activation to remain vital and responsive. Perhaps most detrimental is the misconception that sexual wellness exists separately from overall health. These systems are profoundly interconnected in ways modern medicine is only beginning to fully appreciate. Nourishing one inherently supports the other. Neglecting one inevitably diminishes both. Understanding these misconceptions represents your first step toward reclaiming the vibrant, fulfilling life still awaiting you. But awareness alone isn't enough. What you need next is a clear, practical roadmap for reconnecting with your body in ways that feel natural, comfortable, and appropriate, precisely where we're heading next. If you're finding value in these insights, I invite you to type the number 1 in the comments. Now let's explore the important guidance waiting in point number 4. 4. The restoration method, reclaiming sexual vitality. Step by step, when I first began guiding older patients toward bodily reconnection, I realized many needed more than encouragement. They needed a clear pathway, not vague suggestions or wishful thinking, but a tangible, practical approach they could follow with confidence. This recognition birthed the restoration method, a step-by-step process designed specifically for the mature body, honoring age-related changes while reigniting the vital mind-body connection that so often fades with passing years. The first step is preparation. Before anything else, create an environment where you feel completely secure, comfortable, and undisturbed. Adjust room temperature thoughtfully. Select a supportive chair or bed and have quality lubricant available. These seemingly small considerations send powerful signals to your body. You matter, and your well-being deserves meaningful attention. Next comes relaxation. Remember, this isn't a performance or obligation. Begin with deep, rhythmic breathing, allowing tension to release and heartbeat to steady. Feel stress melting away layer by layer, like gentle waves receding from shore. This simple practice of presence can unlock sensations you may have thought permanently lost. The third phase is awakening. Here you gently explore areas often neglected for years. Inner thighs, lower abdomen, chest. Touch these regions with gentle curiosity rather than judgment. Notice your body's responses, however subtle. These reactions signal that your sensory system remains alive, still eager to communicate with you. Then follows focused stimulation without pressure or expectation. Gradually introduce more direct touch, allowing arousal to develop naturally at its own pace. Using unhurried, mindful movements creates depth of sensation, often lost in hurried experiences. Remember, the goal isn't reaching some predetermined destination, it's embracing the journey your unique body offers in this season of life. Finally comes integration. Pause, breathe deeply, and acknowledge yourself for investing in your own well-being. Savor the feelings of aliveness, regardless of their subtlety or intensity. Within this quiet acknowledgement, profound healing takes root. This method isn't about recapturing youth. It's about embracing your present self with all the wisdom, character, and depth your years have cultivated. Once you experience even the smallest spark of reconnection, you'll recognize the remarkable potential still dwelling within you. Yet even with effective methods, challenges inevitably arise. In our next section, I'll reveal how to navigate the common pitfalls that derail most seniors, keeping you steadily on your path toward lasting vitality. 5. Overcoming challenges. What to expect and how to succeed. Whenever guiding someone through the restoration method, I always emphasize, meaningful change rarely follows a straight path. Moments of doubt, frustration, or discouragement naturally emerge. I've witnessed this countless times, not because people lack sincere desire for healing, but because they unknowingly encounter obstacles that make progress unnecessarily difficult. Understanding what challenges to anticipate and how to respond often determines whether someone surrenders or transforms their health and vitality permanently. Among the most common hurdles are unrealistic expectations. Many seniors assume proper technique should immediately restore sensations from decades past. When this doesn't happen, disappointment often follows. The truth? Your body has evolved. This isn't failure, but natural life progression. Success now isn't measured by intensity or immediacy of pleasure, but by reconnection with sensation, comfort, and presence. Even subtle improvements signal healing occurring beneath awareness. Another significant challenge is inconsistency. Like rebuilding muscle strength or restoring flexibility, renewing sensual connection requires regular attention. Practicing only occasionally when motivation spontaneously appears is like watering a garden monthly, yet expecting continuous bloom. Dedicate time 2 or 3 times weekly, not as obligation, but as self-respect. Your body responds to this consistent care in ways that gradually but powerfully surprise you. Performance pressure represents another hidden saboteur. Focusing too intently on achieving specific outcomes creates tension in the very systems you're attempting to relax. Release the notion that each session must culminate in particular ways. Embrace the process. Sensations of pleasure, however subtle, represent genuine victories deserving celebration, not comparison against memories of youth. Finally, lingering shame often undermines progress. Many carry deeply buried feelings whispering, "This isn't appropriate at my age," or "I shouldn't need this anymore." When such thoughts arise, meet them with gentle understanding rather than self-criticism. Remind yourself that seeking physical pleasure isn't selfish or inappropriate. It's honoring the remarkable body you continue to inhabit. Navigating these challenges requires patience, but brings profound reward. Each step taken, each moment of self-compassion strengthens not only your physical vitality, but your overall resilience and spirit. As confidence grows, you'll likely find yourself ready to embrace something even greater. complete restoration of wellness and energy through a straightforward yet transformative approach tailored specifically for this meaningful chapter of your life. Prepare yourself, because what follows could initiate the most powerful shift you've experienced in decades. Conclusion: reclaim your right to thrive. As we conclude this journey together, I want to leave you with this essential truth. Your body, your health, and your right to experience pleasure don't expire with advancing years. They transform, certainly, but never disappear. Reclaiming this vital aspect of yourself isn't about chasing youthful experiences. It's about honoring the vibrant life that still pulses within you, the resilience that's carried you through countless challenges, and the spirit that refuses to diminish. I've witnessed men and women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s rekindle sparks they believed permanently extinguished, discovering renewed vigor, confidence, and joy in the process. You deserve nothing less. Everything begins with one profound choice: to believe you remain capable, deserving, and fully alive in every meaningful sense. Start with small steps. Practice patient persistence. Treat yourself with genuine kindness. Remember that each movement toward reconnecting with your body represents a step toward a future filled not merely with additional years, but with richer, more meaningful life in every remaining year. Your remarkable story continues unfolding. Choose today to write it with strength, dignity, and the fullness of experience you were always meant to enjoy.